The culture of narcissism has absolutely arrived, and it seems that the culture of narcissism present day has been sneaking into our societies over the last few years. Nowadays, seemingly all of a sudden, we appear to have a multitude of narcissists and psychopaths living amongst us. And interestingly, if you consider that the media and the arts are a reflection of what is exactly happening in society, there are more and more movies and television series and books about narcissists and psychopaths today than ever before. And the idea of the psychopath and the narcissist as a serial killer or a serial rapist is changing. And unfortunately, by the time that people realize they are dealing with destructive narcissism, they have already been victimized and are looking for a way to escape the terror and the abuse. And in this video, I would like to explore the three areas and how they are being affected by narcissism: the workplace, families, and new age ideas. The culture of narcissism in the workplace. For many years, leadership programs have been teaching people how to develop their charisma and their people management skills. And these are courses, there are courses on decision making and risk management and influencing others, stress management, and so on. These things are seen as desirable qualities for those who are in management and leadership positions in this world. And another important aspect that we need to consider is that the corporate world are all, they're everything and they're everywhere, and they're involved in all the changes that have happened in the last few decades. As corporations have gone global, they have merged and expanded very, very rapidly, and the organizational structure changed depending on the current fad in society. In fact, change and adapt are buzzwords that were added to the list of desirable traits. And the pace of life, it seems, has gotten much faster. The risk is greater, and shakers and movers with desirable assets for a company are there's so much competition, and the potential reward both for the company and the individual rose considerably in the last decade, as there was more power available for those at the top of big organizations than ever before. Organizations have been hiring confident, risk-taking people who could remain cool under pressure, who could get people to do what they wanted for them. They wanted people who could deal with situations with little or no empathy or little to no emotions. They wanted people who would advance the company and allow it to take more market, more profits. And they wanted people who were motivated and ambitious, even ruthless. So what they got were the narcissists and the psychopaths, as the culture of narcissism has arrived in much more than the corporate workplace, as the narcissists have lied their way into organizations, feigning leadership qualities, forging qualifications and references, and they were supposedly bringing some leadership qualities, but what they often brought were thinly disguised callousness, manipulation, and disrespect for their peers, and a willingness to bend the rules, and a distinct lack of ethics and morals. But these things are justified when getting to the bottom line. And the culture of narcissism, however, is leaving behind a trail of destruction. Good people are fired or leave because they cannot take anymore. And authority figures lose their authority, and people's morale is damaged, and physical and mental abuse is taking its toll on society as a whole. And much time has been wasted repairing all of these things, as well as actually fighting these narcissists as they remain in the same positions within these companies. And the cost is the cost of this kind of damage is difficult to calculate. So looking at the big picture in the world today, the banks are corrupt and have shifted their debts over to other people, and some have even managed to bankrupt their own governments. The people at the top are getting even richer, and the poor are getting poorer. The middle class is disappearing, and there is no evidence that the leaders are looking after anybody that is in the general population. There is a lot of evidence that they are taking everything for themselves as the system is failing. The current situation is unsustainable, and simply printing money is not going to work. Fiat currency is not going to work. It has never worked in the past, and it will never work now. There is no reason to think that it will work this time, and who knows what the result of cultural narcissism will be within the workplace and outside. So the culture of narcissism in families, and one common belief is that narcissistic parents create narcissistic children. They inflate the ego of their children so much that it becomes pathological, and these children grow up self-centered, demanding, and acting out just like their parents. But this does not occur in all children, as not all narcissists have narcissistic children. Some believe that if the parents, narcissistic or not, lavish too much praise on their kids, and they will grow up with this false sense of self-importance. And this child's reality is very one-sided, and all he or she knows are the sources of information that tell them that they are superior. So sometimes a lack of praise and appreciation is said to give a rise to inadequate development of the sense of self and self-relation to others, and they grow up with these narcissistic traits. So if we look for the culture of narcissism in families, there are two very disturbing trends becoming evident. And the first is actually reported by teachers in schools, and the second is reported by the parents themselves. Many teachers report difficulty in maintaining control of their classrooms and control of their students. And a great description comes from one teacher who says kids nowadays are treated as kings in their homes, and they come to school acting as if they are kings at the school as well, and they expect everything to be done for them and don't think that the rules apply to them. The second trend is that of an increasing number of parents who have to call the police or even sue their children to try and control them in adulthood. And the children do what they want in the house as minors, and literally they skip school, they verbally and physically abuse their parents. Some parents have even put reinforced doors in their bedrooms to protect themselves, as the culture of narcissism is obvious here too within the family. And even more worrying is that these kids are sometimes as young as 6, 7, 8 years old, and if they're like this at 8, what do you think they're going to be like at 35? And it's 50-50, boys and girls. And normally they say boys commit more crimes than girls, but not so in abusing their parents. There are as many young girls mistreating their parents as young boys. And parents, take note, but take it with a grain of salt. You are parents to your children, not friends, not equals, not servants. Act like parents if you want to change the culture of narcissism that is developing in children in this world. So this is what the culture of narcissism looks like. This is what everybody seems to be striving for these days, and they are trying to learn to attract unlimited success and creating this fabulous wealth in their life, going beyond their problems wherever possible, improving their personal leadership, personal communication, and personal influence. They are achieving remarkable results in all areas of life. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. And these are just some of the things that say are being offered by new age personal development courses. And I wouldn't necessarily lob myself into that category since I don't have any e-courses, but how can everyone be fabulously wealthy? And I know you guys know what kind of courses I'm talking about. Everyone can't have unlimited success. And what does that mean anyway? What kind of person wants to get any man or woman that they want into bed? Normal, healthy people, they don't think this way. And who has perfect days every single day? Who has remarkable success in all areas of their life? These are impossibilities. And there is a lot of stuff about increasing your personal this, that, or the other. Feeling good has become more important than sorting out your day-to-day problems, in my opinion. And finding your true self, it takes priority over, say, maintaining your marriage, obviously. But what is the point of all of that if you are alone or ignoring others, or worse, walking all over others? And we are social creatures. We thrive when we are with others, and we like to have families and friends close. But wait, we get back to the culture of narcissists. And of course, narcissists and psychopaths, they think like this too, and they think that they are entitled to the fabulous, wealthy life with all of the success, the unlimited success, and they use their personal skills of manipulation, deception. They terrorize and generally con people out of their money and into the bedroom. And they make decisions irrespective of others and never ever take responsibility for anything. The other thing is that very often you have to do, say, courses with these people in order to have what they have. You have to do what they do. And being a narcissist allows them to do things that you would never even consider, such as, say, brainwashing or mind control abuse of other people. So you will never be able to get what they say they have. And remember that these people are practice liars, and this is also in the twin flame community, and they don't have what they actually say they have. And a classic example is, say, a twin flame relationship course where you supposedly learn how to love passionately, and you learn all about the runner and chaser dynamically, and the narcissist and the psychopath, and who are not giving this love and, you know, turning these people around when it is impossible, or gaining, say, wealth attraction, a wealth attraction seminar that is given by a psychopath who has huge credit card debt, and yet all of these unrealistic things are being offered, accepted as possible and desirable. But why is that? So back to this culture of narcissism. Football sensations and actors and actresses, rock stars, outstanding athletes, fame and fortune, they have it all. It's the same media that are governed and controlled by the rich. Well, you kind of have to educate yourself there. And in order to protect yourself from the culture of narcissism in which we live, it is useful to understand that malignant narcissists, how they act and why they act the way that they do and what exactly they do. And if you are actually in a relationship with a narcissist, you clearly have to learn about dealing with a narcissist as well as learning about how to recover. So, with that said, if you think that you are being brainwashed by a narcissist, or you have been somehow wrapped up in a cult or a destructive relationship with a friend or a family member or a lover, if, say, somebody else that you love is in that situation, there are steps that you can take to help them avoid these situations in the future. My name is Sarah Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101.